Yeah, so in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, we're going to make a personal to me watercolor piece because this is my great grandpa's house in the countryside of the Dominican Republic. Um, this is like I don't I don't know how to say the not the cornerstone of my family, but very much like the base, like where most of my family is to this day. My grandma grew up here, and my mom grew up coming to this house like all the time as a kid, and I grew up taking a plane back to DR every few years or so to go visit my family here at this house. So I asked one of my cousins to take a picture of it so that I could paint it for you guys today. And this is a very typical house that you'll find in the countryside in DR. There's nothing really special about this house. A lot of houses have these like really bright tropical colors, like the blues and the pinks and like light greens and stuff, like very different from the colors of houses that you'll find around up here in the Northeast. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys have fun doing it. Like I said before we started recording, I'm a former architecture student, so uh I can't let go of drawing buildings. I kind of it's just a part of me now, so but this will be really simple. Um and this is just one of the dogs on the farm, by the way. There's like 10, but this one was in the picture. Uh so first we're gonna start off with a rectangle, and you can just eyeball this with a steady hand. All right. I'm gonna cover the light from my window because it is very sunny outside.
And it's still very faint.
Still? Ah, geez. Mm, that should be a bit better, I hope. Ta-da. I'm looking for my eraser and it's covered up by a bunch of post-it notes I have. Ugh. Yeah, that's about the size of my rectangle relative to my paper. Like kind of just like if you like bring the edges of the paper in, I want to say like an inch and a half, if I had to guesstimate. And don't worry about the lines being straight. I think it kind of adds character, to be honest. Um, like 2/3 of the way down, we're gonna draw a vertical line. 2/3 of the way from it's appearing on the right on your this is my left. Let me draw the line darker so you can see. So this is about 2/3 and 1/3, right? Generally speaking. So that's like the main portion of the house. So I think first, or next rather, um, let's draw this little like awning here. There's a column at the corner, and then there's like a half wall about there. And then we'll draw the floor as a line. So you guys can see that because I can see that. So, boom.
Yes, we can see that.
Yes, you can. And over here, there's like a little bit of where the roof was extended. It's like this is like the main part of the roof, and then this is where the bedrooms are inside the house. The house is like uh the best way I could describe it is like a shotgun house, if you know what that is, where it's only one floor and the front door leads directly to the back door. And they call it a shotgun house because you could shoot a shotgun straight through it. They're very popular in like Louisiana, for example. Um, yeah, so it's like one hallway, and it like on one side it's the living room and the kitchen, and the other side is the bedrooms. So this is just like an extension of the roof above the bedrooms because when it rains, this roof here makes a lot of noise, the tin roof. So the concrete is like a little better. So we're gonna draw this piece, and it's like I want to say, not quite halfway, like a little bit more out, right? And then from there, we're going to draw our roof, which is a triangle. Just going up to the top of the page. I started it a little bit past this piece, and it ends a little bit past the next corner right here. I'm going to draw a line across the top here. So we split the triangle into two. And hmm, what else do we want to draw before we start painting? Oh, there's like a telephone pole. Kind of like cocked to the side. And we'll draw the door. And to make the door look like it's open, I'm going to draw a diagonal line from the bottom left corner and just bring it up. And now it looks like we got some depth perception going on, like we got some depth in there. Um, we're gonna draw the window right next to the door. It's gonna be the same height as the door, but it's not gonna go all the way down to the floor, but it's gonna go up. So like as high as the door is, so is the window. And it, a lot of countryside houses don't actually have glass windows in DR because it's too hot. So this is literally just a hole with like shutters in it to block the sun out, but to let air in, it's for ventilation. So right now I'm drawing the shutters, and then we're going to do the same thing here, but it's going to be a little bit lower than the door because it's a little bit more forward. And same thing, we're going to draw like a little thing in the middle, and we're going to draw our shutters. Dun, 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 dun. And then there's like a tiny window up top here. So we're going to draw that too. Yeah. I think this window is just for air circulation. It's too high up for anyone to look out of. Okay. So that's like the building kind of done. Well, let's draw the tiles here. So I drew one line just going straight down and then two kind of at an angle to make it look like it's going in. And then we'll just draw like two lines to make the tiles look like they're getting bigger as they come closer. Okay.
How do I do, my name is Janice. I don't know how to, do the roof,
Well, which part of the roof? The triangle?
the triangle.
So look, remember this part of the roof that we drew, this rectangle part? I started it
Oh,
from like a little bit
oh,
in, and
hold on,
it's
I'm
like
getting
a,
confused.
it's okay. It's like an isosceles
Like
triangle.
this part is out,
Yeah, they both like both ends go a little bit over where they start. Like it would
okay.
start kind of here and here, but
I'm,
it goes
co-
over a little
I'm
bit.
confused here because I do the house,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of big, but, okay. And then the roof is a triangle, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't cover the whole rectangle of the house. Look, I'll show you here so you can see really.
Okay.
You see? The house keeps on going this way, but the roof
Oh, it's
starts
like
here.
I'm throwing the box. I don't know how to do this. Oh Lord.
Yeah, you see?
I can see, but I can't draw it.
You can draw a triangle. Come on. All you gotta do is go like this.
Oh my God.
You got
Okay.
it. You got it.
I drew the box.
Right. This is our
Hold
rectangle.
on. The box, right?
Hmm.
Not the box, the drawing. I'm seeing. Draw the box, well, the house. I'm
Yeah.
confused
What's
because I see the picture, but I can't see the picture.
this one? You can't see this one?
Yeah, no, I can't see anything. When you're touching it, I can't see it.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Mm.
So I draw the line. How long is the line?
It's on the screen now, Janice. It's the best
Okay,
it's gonna be.
okay.
Can you
And
see
then
it?
this is the box. Okay. And then that continues.
All right, so you're gonna have to go.
Okay.
I think if you continue, I think she's caught up now. Are you caught up, Janice?
I see it.
Yeah, it's so weird how it like,
And then is lines on the box.
yeah, like shutters in the window.
Okay. Um,
Okay, so
yes, I'm gonna show you my picture.
all right. I'm gonna keep going though. You guys can see this little platform I drew in front of the tiles.
Yes.
So what I did
Yeah,
was,
that's my picture.
oh,
Janice, you don't have your camera on,
Oh,
but Say's gotta keep going, so.
okay. This
Oh,
is my
Janice, you
picture.
have it on now.
Okay.
Can't see anything on your paper. Not anything.
I,
It's the light and the shadows, Janice. She's gonna have to keep going, so just do the best you can to keep up, okay?
well,
And Janice,
I'm
it's
doing
okay.
well.
It's okay if it looks a little different. It doesn't have to look exactly the same, okay? Art's
Listen,
like
mine
that.
mine already looks different from what I drew 2 months ago. This I drew
Everybody's
in
is gonna
October.
look different. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm doing
absolutely.
too.
Okay, so
All right.
I drew this like, how do I say, not a doorstep, but like a
Platform.
step. Yeah, it's like a platform to step into the house, but there's also a concrete platform that the entire house sits on. So I'm gonna draw two diagonal lines coming out from either side of the house, and I'm gonna connect it to the bottom of this platform like that, and then I'm gonna draw a vertical line down on either end, and this will add thickness to the platform. So yeah. Um, and then I guess the only thing left is the dog for real. But I draw animals differently than I draw buildings. So I like to just do like a circle and an oval. And I'm gonna leave it like that for now, actually. But I'm done with the pencil. Now we're busting out the paint. So we're gonna do the sky first. I like to do my backgrounds first, as I've said many times in the past. Oh, one more thing I forgot to draw. Was just the ground line going across there. So we know where our ground ends and our sky begins. Okay, back to paint. We're painting the sky, and I'm mixing green and blue together to do that. And I'm using a lot of water because it'll make it appear lighter during the day if I do it that way, right? So I actually, this is so funny. I actually I live stream in my free time sometimes. And I actually live streamed myself making the original painting way back in August while I was like, you know, preparing for this class. I didn't upload it to YouTube, but maybe I should.
If you do, we can watch this a second time, but the first time.
The first time I spent like 2 hours on this, I just got lost in the sauce. Because I have this relationship with things that I like to do. I don't know when to stop. So either I spend way too much time or I just don't do them at all. And this was one of those things. Well, 2 hours wasn't that bad. Usually if I spend 2 hours on something, I can condense it down. But I use a lot of water and I use a flat brush to cover a large amount of area. And that's pretty much that is all of the blue you'll need. You don't need any more. Any more and the sky will get too dark. We're gonna do the same thing but for the ground, and we're gonna do it brown. But we're gonna do a lot of water again that's how light our brown is. Or maybe we'll do it a little bit darker, but still. And again, we're using the same flat brush. Flat brush is really easy to go around all the straight lines that you drew. And I actually think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try something different. Because I kind of like the way this brown looks. I'm going to do it on the roof as well. The roof is orange though. But if you know color theory, you know that, I mean, you can make brown a number of ways, but most common ways is to mix orange and black together. Like brown is typically just a shade of orange. So we got brown roof to match the brown ground. And I think these tiles are also going to be a type of brown, but my brush is too big. So I'm going to grab a tiny brush. I'm going to put water down first with no color because it's a small area. Right? Now I'm going to grab the brown. I'm going to wipe the excess off on a spare paper towel. And I'm just going to use my brush to spread the pigment around. Okay. 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 And I think with this telephone pole, we're gonna do some more brown. Brown, brown, and more brown. Wow. It's okay. It's fine. No big deal. We love brown. I'm not gonna paint the dog brown because I don't want to. What should I do next? What should we do next? I think what we're gonna do next is the green in the background. There's green. There's actually more houses in the background, but I didn't feel like drawing them. It's not really the focus of the it's not really the focus of the piece. So I'm gonna dip into green and yellow. Oh wow. It just got really dark in here and I like can't see what I'm doing.
But it improved the visibility of the picture.
I know. That's so frustrating. Like now I can't actually see what I'm doing.
Do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna look at the TV screen, my computer screen. Okay. Right. Yellow and green. A medium amount of water. And I got a little bit of a bigger brush and I'm just patting down over here to make like my background of leaves and such. And it'll get more spotty as the brush dries out. And we want it to dry out like towards the top here. I'm gonna do the same thing on the ground, but a little bit more pigment than water. You can see it's a lot darker than what I did on the sky. And yeah, same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Over here. We're gonna have a patch of grass like down here, but you can put them like wherever it is. Just like little patches though, because this is really like there's a bunch of gravel um that people walk on all the time. So back here, there's actually like I don't know what you would call it, but it's not not a shack, but it's like the pen that has our pigs. This is a really big farm that my family has. And back here is actually like the where the pigs are, but I didn't draw it because it's kind of smelly and and a little harsh on the eyes, I'm not gonna lie. On this side, is the pasture where the cows graze. It's a little bit prettier, but still very smelly. So if you notice, I did like a blotch and I didn't bring it down to the ground. Um, because I just wanted it to be like one tree. And then we're gonna do some more green up here at the top. With our tiny baby brush, we're gonna get some brown, like a lot of brown actually, on our brush. More brown than water, I meant to say, more paint than water. And I'm gonna go like really fast with like a bunch of dots everywhere. And this is what took me like 2 hours. This is what made it take 2 hours, but I'm gonna do it like super fast. I don't know what time it is. It's 4:30. Okay. We're making good time. So every time the brown starts to get a little lighter, you just add more. Now that I'm looking at, I haven't looked at this really since I made it, which was almost 2 months ago. I actually used some colored pencils too, but we're not gonna do that. I'm really a mixed media person. The different mediums have different strengths. They do different things better, I find.
I'm always amazed at the texture you're getting out of the watercolors, though.
Oh yeah. It's is about brush application technique and making sure like we're doing what I do is I work around the page. So like while one thing dries, I'm painting another thing. And so the ground was like the second thing I painted. And when we painted everything else, by the time we come back to it, it's dry enough for us to do this, you know? It's just more efficient that way, so you don't have to spend time like waiting for things to dry. You kind of like go around in sections. Um, this is gonna be the only instance of this with the paint though. The rest of it we're gonna do with the paint markers because they're more vibrant. But we will draw something else with the actually this is so funny, like I love to paint trees, but I can't really draw them with like a pencil. I don't know. It's like it's the only thing that I have that issue with. And it doesn't matter what kind of tree. like a deciduous tree, like the ones we're gonna have here. Well, are they deciduous if they're tropical? I guess not. But you know, like regular trees and then like evergreen trees and palm trees. Like I just like painting. Like I can't really like draw them the way that I paint them. The paintbrush is like so much more conducive to the shape of trees than a pencil. A pencil is like so precise, and trees, I mean, they're precise too, but to us, we don't think of them in a precise way. Okay, uh, that's the ground. That took me like 5 minutes. More brown on the brush because look at that. Try doing that with a pencil. I certainly cannot. I'll tell you that right now. And we're gonna do some more like over here. A lot of the trees on this farm are very like climbable, like low-hanging branches that are very thick and sturdy. It's really fun. It's the only place I've actually ever climbed trees. Uh, yep, okay. Let's see. What else do we do? I think it's pink time. You know, our house is looking very bland and white, and it's like a ghost house. So to make pink, you could, I don't know what you could do. Could do like red, orange, and a little bit of purple if you only have 8 colors. This pink is so dark. Oh my gosh. That's better. Red, orange, and purple, I think would get this. Because this is like a magenta, you know? So we're just going around the window and around this column, next to this column, around the door. I think now we're going to, oh, I didn't do this last time. It's kind of silly of me. I have white and black, but you can kind of just, I guess you could kind of just use black. So let's do that. Um, but you would need so much water. So I'm gonna put the paint on the thing here, and I'm gonna keep adding water until it looks gray. And for good measure, so that I don't have this random like black shadow, I'm gonna add a little bit of this purple. Because everything else is like a color except for black and white. They're really more like a tint and a shade. And so when you have only one element that's like white or black in a piece, it's really jarring. And it's fine to do that intentionally, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I want this to be more harmonious. So we're going to take our purpley gray and we're going to paint in our concrete slab that our house sits on top of. I'm gonna avoid the dog. Ooh, just looks like two beans right now. Yeah, I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna leave the center of the platform in front of the tiles white because we're gonna come back to that. There's like a mat on it, and that's kind of cute. So and I think I'm gonna grab a bit of a bigger brush and I'm gonna dip into some orange. And finish the roof. So I'm doing orange and yellow at first. That's like really yellow, actually. Let's do more orange. Right on top of the color that we just did. That's so beautiful. Wow. What a pretty color. And then we can add like a stripe of brown at the top because it'll kind of like fade out while the paint is still wet, you know? All right, it's time for the big, is it? Hmm, I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna look. I'm gonna do blue, just regular blue. Okay, that's fine. It looks so much more purple on my palette, but this is good. This is a good blue. Yeah, just regular blue should be fine. And we're painting in like the front of the house. I want you to notice how I utilize the flat edge of the brush when I paint vertically versus when I paint horizontally. And this is why flat edge brushes are very useful because they make painting straight objects or like orthogonal objects very easy. Versus I feel like if you're using like a regular fluffy brush and your hand gets a little shaky, the paint is runny, you know, it's wet, it's water. Oh, that is so much paint. like pretty much in 2 swipes, that half wall is painted. Go up and down for the column. And go across for the rest of the top there. All right, this is where we use the paint markers. I'm closing my watercolor palette. These are the love of my life. I use them all the time for my own personal stuff. They're great. We're gonna pick out these 2 greens. They're like a blue-green. One's light and one's dark. And we're gonna start with the dark one. We're gonna use the brush tip to add the leaves on the trees. We're gonna cover the branches a little bit because the branches are not gonna be like in front of the leaves only, you know, there's just like gonna be some leaves that cover it. And I've done this before with watercolor. It just takes so much longer. We really don't have the time. We got like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, so. I get like really, okay. For the grass here, I'm gonna draw a line. And then we're gonna do spikes. Little swipes and stuff. Kind of like all the way down. Same thing with our patches of grass here. Some more. We're gonna bring it around. So actually, we're only gonna put these leaves up here. We're gonna leave that at the bottom there sort of empty just to let the like watercolor shine through. Because that gives it a good like depth of field. But we are gonna give the bottom like some fuzzy grass. This grass here is a little bit more untamed. That's next to the grazing. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing again, but with the light green. Let's start here. Oh, my markers are drying out. Because I have them stored like vertically, which is not good. Mm-mm. I'm gonna skip this step. Can't do it. There's two blues here. One that's a little bit more green and one that's a little bit more blue. I'm gonna take the more blue one and go over blue house. Just to make it a bit more vibrant, because otherwise we would have to do a bunch of layers of watercolor. And like I said, we don't really have that much time to do that. But I think our pink is pretty vibrant, which is so good. We can actually leave the pink as it is. Let's go around the window. And let's do everything around except for the dog, like where the dog is at. Oopsie. It's okay. I'm gonna go in with the green, the more green blue. Oh, not like that. I guess it got dark. That's okay. And yeah, we're gonna do like that. And then we're gonna draw the doormat on. Because I think I did this color. What's it? But it's like out of juice. All right, we're gonna do the doggy. Um, doing like a yellow. He's like a tan dog. And he's just laying down, having a rest. Right there. So we'll draw in his features with the Sharpie. Mm, Another thing. We're gonna make this telephone pole like more darker. We're gonna add some fur lines to the doggy. And we're going to make this room brown. Yep. Right, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm actually going to use this to align the tiles. So I think it'll look more interesting that way. Okay, it's Sharpie pen time. My favorite part ever, always, all the time. And we're gonna do this dog first so that you guys know how to do them. I'm gonna draw a line in the middle of his forehead. I'm gonna draw like the ears. I'm gonna draw the nose and the mouth and the eyes. Right? So cute. I'm gonna draw one of the legs coming down that way. And then one of the hind legs, the other hind legs. And that's our dog, right? Isn't he adorable? Another thing that you should do with the roof and some Sharpie for sure, because this is like a corrugated metal roof. I'm gonna draw some scribbles, some waves. We're gonna finish the top of the roof. We're gonna add two lines. We're gonna outline the windows. That window. We have this door here. We're gonna outline it. We're gonna outline this window. And this window. And I would also outline the concrete, like that. Alright, we're gonna finish outlining this window. Alright, we do the shutters. We're gonna draw a line connecting the telephone pole. And we're gonna outline this part of the ceiling. On the bottom of the house here. The very last thing you should do with your Sharpie is to sign your name. So you know that it's yours. And I think that's time.